Welcome to Trivia Showdown. Today we're diving into the legendary world of the Beatles with 25 fun and challenging trivia questions that will test even the biggest fans. Think you know everything about the Fab Four? From their early days in Liverpool to their iconic albums and unforgettable performances, this quiz will put your knowledge to the test. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Trivia Showdown for more exciting quizzes on music, history, pop culture, and so much more. And be sure to click the notification bell so you never miss a challenge. Alright, are you ready? Let's jump into the ultimate Beatles trivia quiz, 25 fun facts you should know. Let's start off easy. The Beatles are one of the greatest bands of all time, but where did they get their start? Was it Manchester, Liverpool, or London? The answer is Liverpool. Fun fact, Liverpool is home to the Cavern Club, where the Beatles performed nearly 300 times before their big break. Behind every great band is a great manager. Who helped the Beatles rise to fame? Was it Brian Epstein, George Martin, or Mick Jagger? The correct answer is Brian Epstein. He discovered them at the Cavern Club and played a huge role in shaping their early success. Here's one for the music buffs. In what year did the Beatles release their very first single, Love Me Do? Was it 1963, 1962, or 1965? The answer is 1962. This iconic track marked the start of their incredible journey to becoming legends. It's time for some drumming trivia. When Pete Best left the Beatles, who took his place? Was it Keith Moon, Ringo Starr, or Charlie Watts? The answer is Ringo Starr. He joined in 1962 and completed the band's classic lineup. Picture this, the Beatles performing live on a rooftop, but where did this iconic concert take place? Was it Abbey Road Studios, Apple Corps headquarters, or the Cavern Club? The answer is Apple Corps headquarters. This legendary performance in 1969 was their final public show. Here's a colorful one for you. What was the name of the Beatles animated film released in 1968? Was it Yellow Submarine, Help, or Magical Mystery Tour? The answer is Yellow Submarine. This surreal film became a cult classic over the years. Their final studio album was a masterpiece. What was it called? Was it Abbey Road, Let It Be, or Revolver? The answer is Let It Be. Although it was released after Abbey Road, it was recorded earlier. Here's a timeless hit. Who was the primary songwriter for the Beatles' classic ballad Yesterday? Was it Paul McCartney, John Lennon, or George Harrison? The answer is Paul McCartney. Did you know Yesterday is one of the most covered songs in history? Think back to the 1960s. What U.S. television show did the Beatles first appear on? Was it the Ed Sullivan Show, American Bandstand, or Top of the Pops? The answer is the Ed Sullivan Show. This legendary performance in 1964 had over 73 million viewers. You've probably seen this album cover everywhere. Which Beatles album features the iconic zebra crossing? The answer is Abbey Road. The crossing has since become a tourist hotspot in London. Before they became the Beatles, what was the band originally called? Was it the Quarrymen, the Silver Beatles, or the Rolling Stones? The answer is the Quarrymen. John Lennon started this skiffle group in 1956. This psychedelic track is a fan favorite. On which album did Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds appear? Was it Rubber Soul, Sgt. Pepper's, or Revolver? The answer is Sgt. Pepper's. The song became infamous for its rumored hidden meaning. When did the Beatles decide to stop performing live concerts? Was it 1965, 1966, or 1967? The answer is 1966. Their last official concert was at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Where did George Harrison write his iconic song, Here Comes the Sun? Was it John Lennon's house, Paul McCartney's garden, or Eric Clapton's estate? The answer is Eric Clapton's estate. Harrison wrote it during a break from business meetings. Their first movie was a hit. What was it called? Was it A Hard Day's Night, Help, or Yellow Submarine? The answer is A Hard Day's Night. The film is often regarded as one of the greatest rock and roll movies ever made. The Beatles' first feature-length documentary gave fans an inside look at the band. What was its title? Was it The Beatles, 8 Days a Week, Let It Be, or Beatles Forever? The answer is Let It Be. This film captures the tense and final days of the Beatles as a band. This caused quite a stir. In 1966, John Lennon made a bold claim. Did he say the Beatles were more popular than Elvis Presley, Jesus Christ, or the Rolling Stones? The answer is Jesus Christ. The statement led to backlash, especially in the US with record burnings. You've probably heard of the White Album, but what's its official title? Is it the Beatles, White Light, or Revolution? The answer is the Beatles. This experimental double LP is one of their most diverse works. Inspiration for this song comes from a real place. Where is Strawberry Fields? Is it in Liverpool, Manchester, or London? The answer is Liverpool. Strawberry Field was a Salvation Army children's home near John Lennon's house. This man was instrumental in creating the Beatles' iconic sound, who was often called the Fifth Beetle. Was it Phil Spector, Brian Epstein, or George Martin? The answer is George Martin. His innovative production techniques defined the Beatles' music. One of their most iconic songs, Hey Jude, was written by which band member? Was it George Harrison, Paul McCartney, or John Lennon? The answer is Paul McCartney. He wrote the song to comfort John Lennon's son, Julian, during a difficult time. Where did the Beatles play their final official live concert? Was it Candlestick Park, Shea Stadium, or Wembley Stadium? The answer is Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Their last show was on August 29, 1966, and lasted just 33 minutes. This song premiered during a groundbreaking event. Where did the Beatles first perform All You Need Is Love? Was it On Our World, The Ed Sullivan Show, or Top of the Pops? The answer is Our World. This global TV broadcast reached an audience of over 400 million people in 25 countries. Which year saw the release of the groundbreaking album Revolver? Was it 1965, 1966, or 1967? The answer is 1966. Revolver marked the Beatles' shift toward experimental and innovative music. Before Paul McCartney took over as bassist, who originally played bass for the Beatles? Was it Stuart Sutcliffe, Pete Best, or Billy Preston? The answer is Stuart Sutcliffe. He left the band early on to focus on his passion for painting. That's it for today's trivia challenge. How did you do? Are you a true Beatles expert, or did some of those questions catch you off guard? Either way, thanks for playing along with us here on Trivia Showdown. If you had fun testing your knowledge, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps support the channel. And don't forget to subscribe to Trivia Showdown for even more quizzes on music, history, pop culture, and so much more. We'd love to hear from you, so let us know your score in the comments below. And if there's a trivia topic you'd like to see in the future, drop your suggestions. We might just feature it in an upcoming video. Until next time, keep challenging your mind and having fun with Trivia Showdown. See you in the next quiz.